Hello, dear students, and welcome to another English language lesson. This is for grade 2 of secondary school. The topic is careers, and today we'll talk about future jobs. My name is Rejhana, and I will be your teacher today. Danas ćete prepoznavati informacije u slušanom tekstu, razlikovati vještine i oblike znanja i planirati razvoj svojih vještina. Potrebna vam je bilježnica i olovka, uređaj s pristupom internetu i QR kod čitač. Today, we'll start with a few interesting jobs from the past. And these jobs don't exist anymore. So here they are. I'd like you to think about the names you can see on the screen and try to figure out what these jobs used to be. Remember, they don't exist anymore, and some of them are pretty funny or weird. The jobs are groom of the stool, whipping boy, powder monkey, lector, pin setter, ice cutter, and knocker up. Any ideas? Here are some photos to help you. Look at them carefully and try to guess which jobs they refer to and what these jobs were. Let's try together. In the first picture, you can see a cannon. What job from the previous slide would you connect it with? It's powder monkey. It was a boy employed on warships to carry gunpowder and stuff it into cannons. Then there are ice cubes. What job could that be? It's ice cutter. Before you could get ice from your fridge, you had to cut it from a lake and you'd hire an ice cutter to do that. In the next picture, you can see a woman performing a job of a knocker-up. Before there were alarm clocks, people used to hire a knocker-up to shoot peas at their windows at a appointed time to wake them up. Then there is a whipping boy. It was a person, a young boy, who would be hired to be punished instead of the prince whenever he, the prince, messed up. The next image is showing pin setters, boys hired to set the pins during bowling before mechanical pin setters came out in 1936. Then there is a lector. Although there are lectors still today, this job used to be quite different. Because factory work was rough and monotonous, lectors would read news and literature aloud to their colleagues, as you can see in this photo from a factory in Florida in 1929. And the last one is groom of the stool. He was responsible for helping the king go to the toilet, and this job was actually considered an esteemed position in early modern England. So, what do you think? Are these jobs interesting? Why do you think they don't exist anymore? Today, we'll talk more about new jobs and how the jobs and their descriptions change over time. Now think about how the world of work has changed in the last 50 years. Remember what your grandparents used to do and what their typical workday was like. Here are some ideas to help you think about the following topics: internet, computers in general, flexible working hours and places. How much were they paid? What was the focus of economy and the decline in some job areas? So think about it and write at least 2 sentences about how the world of work has changed during the last 50 years. Now, think about how the world of work will change in the next 10 years. Since the world is developing at high pace, meaning very quickly, what do you think? Which jobs might be in danger of not being needed anymore or be replaced by machines? Which jobs will have to change and adapt to these technological developments? What jobs will be more important in 10 years? Please write down 2 to 3 jobs that you think might be affected by this pace and extent of technological progress, and what jobs might appear. I have a few questions for you now. It's a quick quiz. Just choose the answer you think is right. These questions and answers are a result of a research by Nesta organization based in the UK. So, what do you think? What percentage of the workforce are in occupations now that are highly likely to grow as a share of the workforce by 2030? What percentage? What do you think? 10%. Only 10% of the jobs will grow. Next question. What percentage are in occupations that are likely to shrink by 2030? 20%. And the last one. What percentage of the workforce are in occupations where it is too uncertain to say what will happen to those jobs? 70%. So for 70% of today's jobs, we don't know what will happen in the future. Here is a list of 12 jobs. I'd like you to read them carefully and decide which jobs do you think will be in danger of disappearing in the next 10 to 15 years, and which jobs will become more common or will still be needed. So it's your opinion. Try to put them into 2 groups. Now, I'd like you to stop this lesson and type in this link or scan the code to watch a short video done by an organization called Skills Development Scotland. The video is quite short, and while watching, you have 3 tasks. 1. You need to write down notes about the main causes of change according to Skills Development Scotland. Next, write down what the people will need to change in the future in order to adapt to these changes. And finally, try to get the main message or possible answer to these growing changes that Skills Development Scotland suggests. This answer will appear at the end of the video, so please stop the lesson now and watch the video. I'll see you afterwards. And here are the answers to the first question. What was mentioned as the main cause of change? As the most important one, there is automation in manufacturing, when it all started. Then there is big data, artificial intelligence or AI, the rate of change being exponential, the changing climate, and the population is aging. The second question was about what needs to be changed, and it was said that we need to change what we do and how we do it. We also need to keep up with technology and develop our uniquely human abilities. And what might be the answer? It might be to become more human. Do you agree with that? Do you think we have lost a part of our humanity in managing all this growing technology today? I have another short video for you, also by Skills Development Scotland, and your task now is pretty simple. You should write down 3 skills they suggest we develop in order to successfully cope with this rapid technological progress. Don't worry, you'll manage it because the skills are clearly highlighted in the video. And here are the skills. The first one is manage the now. Because of this explosion of information, we need to focus our attention on what really matters. Be present in this moment. Always learn and take charge of our own destinies. The second one is connect with the world. We need to work across cultures and different languages and understand how other people feel. We need to collaborate to solve complex problems. And the last one is to create our own change. We need to invent, to be curious and creative. Did you notice what tense is mostly used when predicting? Of course, it's will and a verb. We have done this before, and now we'll just apply it in this situation. The negative form is will plus not, and it's won't. Here are 2 examples, and I'd like you to come up with your own ideas and write 4 sentences to make your own predictions about how the world of work will change in 10 years. You can let yourselves be inspired by the videos you've just seen, or use your own ideas not mentioned before. And try, please, to be as creative as possible. Next, we'll watch another video together. This one is very short, and it's the last one for today. It's made by Nesta, an innovation foundation based in the UK, with the focus on education and development of new skills needed for the future. While watching, I'd like you to write down 3 groups of skills and 2 types of knowledge mentioned in the video. It's not very long video and it has subtitles, so it won't be difficult. Let's watch it together.
The future is complex, uncertain, and ever-changing. By the time you enter the world of work in 2030, it will have been shaped by new technologies, an aging population, globalization, inequality, political uncertainty, and climate change. How will this impact jobs, and how can you identify the skills you need to succeed? The Future of Skills, Employment in 2030 is a report by Nesta and Pearson that predicts some of the key skills needed by employers. Things like interpersonal skills, such as working in a team or teaching others, learning skills, like goal setting and question asking, and higher order thinking skills, which include coming up with creative ideas and problem solving. Employers will need people with broad knowledge in areas such as English, history, philosophy and management, as well as specialised knowledge in STEM subjects and foreign languages. The good news is that you can build these skills inside and outside the school environment. The choices and experiences you make now will shape your future. So what are you going to do to prepare for the world of 2030?
I hope this wasn't too difficult and you managed to identify the skills and the knowledge. Here are the answers. There are interpersonal, learning and higher order thinking skills, and broad-based and specialized knowledge. Some special individual skills belonging to these groups were also mentioned in the video. And I'd like you to do this task now. Here is the link and the code that will take you to this task, and it's about matching these specific skills and their descriptions. When you complete the task, you will have a list of these individual skills, and you will need this list later on today. Now, I'd like you to create a mind map. Here is an example made in an app called Miro, and you can use this one or any other app you prefer. You can even use your notebooks to create a mind map like this one. You should complete the map with the skills from the video and the previous task, and you should write which individual skills are an example of interpersonal skills or higher order thinking skills. Then you should write what subjects belong to broad-based knowledge or specialized knowledge. You can, of course, watch the video again and use the matching task we have just done. And we have come to your final task. These are the things I'd like you to do. Since you are in secondary school now, you probably have some idea about what you'd like to do in the future. What profession will you have? Do a little research about that job and try to find out what prospects it has. Will it be high in demand or not much needed in the future? What skills will you need to develop as the job description changes with time? And I'd like you to think about how and where you can develop these skills. Is it a school through any particular subject or extracurricular activities? Maybe outside school to learn another language or take a part-time job. Maybe you could actively take part in different international projects or do some volunteer work. Think about it. Now let's create your future. Here's a chart with all the skills and types of knowledge we mentioned today. Your task is to copy it into your notebooks and complete for each skill these required fields. First, try to self-assess each skill. How would you rate yourselves? Try to be as objective as possible. Then, according to your research, mark the skills that you believe will be required for your desired profession. And then, in the last column, note down all the ways and places you can think of that can help you improve and develop those skills and bring them to a higher level. In that way, you are actively planning and preparing for your future and how to successfully cope with all the changes in the labor market that will definitely appear. You will be ready for what is to come. Just keep learning and never stagnate. Here is a checklist for you to go through and mark all the things you have done or can do after this lesson. And finally, here are some pieces of advice. I hope you agree with them. If you stick with it, success is guaranteed in any area you choose as your profession. Just keep learning, developing, creating, and progressing every day, bit by bit. Until next time, stay safe and grow every day. Bye-bye.